Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Officer Tony here. I know there's been some comments that maybe I might be just a little bit too grumpy sometimes. I promise, as my New Year's resolution, that I won't yell and lose my temper on this channel anymore. Hello, Officer Knucklehead. Ah, jeez. What the hell are you doing here? You need to,
Hello, Richard from budgetguitarist.com. Today, I decided that I would give something away. Okay, so here's the story. When I bought my HX Stomp, I had already watched a ton and a half of videos on it. And one of my favorite channels is Pete Thorne's channel. And he talked a lot about how he, for his Helix, was really relying on IR files. And I heard that echoed a lot of different places. And so I thought, okay, well, it sounds like people are speaking highly of the Ownhammer stuff. And, you know, for like $20, you can get some of those files. So when I got my HX Stomp, I figured I would give the built-in cabinets, you know, a try and see what I thought of them. And I thought they sounded like poo. Now, not for everything. I think like for some of the clean sounds and you know, for some of the sounds, I think that they're just fine. But like, that's my ideal speaker. I spent years listening to different 12-inch speakers, you know, trying to figure out what I really like the sound of best. And it ended up being a Celestion Vintage 30. And so I got this orange 1x12 cab down here. And I tried out a lot of different speaker cabinets. I wanted a 1x12, something that was good for recording, but, you know, that I could take to a gig without breaking my back because I'm in my 50s. So that's the one I chose. That's the one I selected. And I love the way that cabinet sounds. And so I bought the Ownhammer Friedman 4x12 pack, which includes some vintage 30s in it. And that's been my go-to speaker. And it still is. But I started doing a little bit of research on IR files and what's involved in making them. And it's like, well, I can do audio engineering and recording, and I'm pretty good with a computer. I'm a web developer. I know how to program. So could I learn how to make IR files? And I learned how to make IR files. And I made an IR file of that speaker. As a matter of fact, I made 3 of them. And they are up on my website for free downloading. And so if you look down below in the little section below this video, you'll find a link to budgetguitarist.com where I've got a zip file where you can download 3 different versions of this speaker. One of them, it's close mic'd, super close mic'd. One of them, the mic is like an inch away, and in another one, I think I recorded it like a little bit brighter. But whatever the case may be, I was really pleased with the results. I do think the Ownhammer stuff sounds a little more professional than my results, but I was very happy with my results, and I could use either one and be happy with it. And here's the other thing. I've shared a bunch of my presets online, and I always feel a little bad because a big chunk of the way my presets sound is because I'm using the Ownhammer IRs. And so now I can do a patch and I can give away my Celestion Vintage 30 IR file. And so there you go. Free from me to you. And if you have an HX Stomp or like a Pod Go and you want to sort of explore the idea of IR files, well, you can try mine for free. And if you like them, I'd recommend checking out the Friedman collection from Ownhammer. And that's available in the Line 6 marketplace. Okay, let's get down to business. So I've dialed up a patch here. And this is, let me kind of walk you through it. I've got the Brit Plexi Bright. I've got the drive cranked up to 7. The bass is down below. The mid's cranked a little bit. The treble's cranked. The presence is cranked all the way up. Channel volume about halfway. And I have got cabinet selected, which is the 4x12 Cali V30. Right, so this is supposedly like a 4x12 with V30 speakers in it. V30. So this is as close as I can get to comparable. Here is the sound of the stock V30, 4x12 Cali V30. All right, now here's my IR file. In the room, there's a big difference. The IR file has a fuller mid-range, and it's got way more low-end frequency content. Now you could say, that's because the cabinet is probably set to be filtered, because I just grabbed the default cab. So let's remedy that. Okay, so I'm turning the cabinet on, and I'm going to turn off the high cut and the low cut. So this is the cabinet with all filtering off. And again, I have no idea of knowing what you're hearing. In the room, I can tell you it's fizzy. It sounds good. It sounds like a recording of a good amp played back on like small speakers. All right, so let's check out the IR file with no filtering whatsoever. It definitely to my ears sounds night and day better. So if you're doing this kind of like a classic rock sound, I would recommend you give these IR files that I made a try. I recorded them with a Shure SM58 right up against the grill cloth, and it's pointed to the edge of the center of the speaker, the microphone is. Maybe a little bit to the right of it, but basically that general area. It's not spot on center with the cone of the speaker, because I don't like that. I think it sounds harsh. But so it's a little off. It's a little off to the right, roughly around where the edge of the dust cap at the center of the speaker meets the rest of the speaker. But I definitely think it's got a body and a fullness to it that I can't find in any of the other V30 cabinet attempts in the Line 6. I'm not really sure why that is. You can certainly compensate with these cabinets. You can go in and you can jack up the low end and you can get it sounding like pretty good. But just out of the box, wouldn't you rather start with a speaker that sounds good? So like, instead of I rest my case. Anyway, I hope you enjoy these free IR files. I don't really have a big speaker collection, so even if I wanted to, I probably couldn't put out a ton of different IR files. I have basically 3 or 4 speakers, and this is by far the best of them. So there you go. If you did enjoy this video, or you did enjoy the free IR files, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, click the bell, all that jazz. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again next Friday at 5.
Hello, Officer Knucklehead. Ah, jeez. What the hell are you doing here? You need to... hello, King on the Go the Second. It's good to see you. Well, let me tell you something. I thought that I was supposed to do a special on Stevie Ray Vaughan, but, actually, you know, that might be an upcoming episode, so you gotta keep that on the down low. What? Hey, did you know the Andy Griffith Show is on right now? Well, I'm off. Yeah, goodbye, Officer Knucklehead. Please start the show now.